We finally get some college football this week, and we are no longer forced to watch the crappy NFL preseason games. Even if it's the worst college football week, I'm excited to watch college students go at it in front of thousands of passionate fans. Before we get further into this video, YouTube snitched on you guys and has told me 99% of you are not subscribed. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like this content. Anyways, let's move on. You guys are not here to hear me yap about my channel. Let's talk about the problem with college football's week 0. Now, the reason for week 0 being so boring is simply the product on the field. And you got to understand why you're seeing Montana State versus New Mexico on your TV this Saturday. Week 0 mostly exists to give smaller group of 5 schools national attention. This brings in recruits, money, and just more attention to the schools in general. Now, all the games aren't always group of 5 teams. If you only watch college football for the bigger brands of the sport, your best bet will be watching Florida State versus Georgia Tech. 2 ACC teams going at it in Dublin, Ireland. I think the Week 0 Ireland tradition is a pretty fun game to watch. Started in 1988, the Aer Lingus Football Classic. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Started between Boston College versus the Army Knights. It was the first college football game ever to be played in Europe, with Boston College beating Army 38-24. Since 1988, the game has been played a total of 8 times. The most recent was last year's Notre Dame 42-3 beatdown against Navy. This Saturday will be the 9th time the Aer Lingus game will be played. Now, before you guys say I'm just complaining or I'm a fake college football fan, I'll have you know I will be watching most, if not all, the games this weekend. I'm very excited for the season to start, so getting a few games early really is nice, even if it's a bunch of teams we usually wouldn't watch on a regular fall Saturday. Let's say you took these Week 0 games and threw them into Week 1. Would you watch them? I personally would bet money you wouldn't. Unless the Florida State-Georgia Tech game is close heading into the 4th, I wouldn't be watching any of these games, I won't lie. Also, if you notice, Hawaii usually plays on Week 0 every year. There's a good reason for this too. It's called the Hawaii Rule. It lets Hawaii and schools who travel to play in Hawaii schedule 13 games instead of 12. This is to help schools offset their travel costs to and from Hawaii. I honestly don't know how many teams do this, but I don't think it's too many. I looked at Hawaii's schedule and the teams who are traveling to it. I didn't see many that are scheduling 13 games. I know Hawaii played a total of 13 games last year, though, with their record of 5-8 to finish the season. Now, this week honestly sucks for fans. Not only are there crappy games, if your team plays on this week, your team gets an extra bye week. Now, it's pretty brutal for this year to have an extra bye week, because most, if not all, Division I FBS teams have 2 bye weeks. Because of how the calendar year is set up, teams are forced to schedule 2 bye weeks. Why is this, you ask? Well, college football starts on Labor Day weekend, and this Labor Day falls on September 2nd, which is earlier than usual. College football also ends the last Saturday of November, so in between those 2 dates, there are 14 Saturdays to play 12 games. So teams like Florida State, who play Week 0, will be having 3 bye weeks. I don't know about you guys, but it sucks when my Hogs don't play, but I'm also a college football fan, so it's not the end of the world. Having a stress-free fall Saturday is nice every so often. Now, this rule will also be intact for the 2025 season as well. We will also have 14 Saturdays to play 12 games next year. And getting a little off topic, my favorite part about Arkansas's bye weeks is that one of them are on the greatest week of college football this year. Let me introduce to you guys October 12th. Ohio State versus Oregon, Ole Miss versus LSU, Penn State versus USC, Texas versus Oklahoma, and many more. Very excited for this week, and my team doesn't even play. Okay, back to Week 0. Did you know the first Week 0 college football game was a top 4 matchup in 1983 between number 1 Nebraska and number 4 Penn State? Nebraska won that game 44-6, by the way. But my question is, why don't we have top 10 games in Week 0 anymore? I know the main reason for Week 0 is so smaller schools can get more attention. But what if we scheduled all the smaller games at noon and in the afternoon slot? Then you'd have one huge game at night between 2 college football powerhouses. For example, you have Delaware State versus Hawaii at 12. Then put Montana State and New Mexico at 3 or 4. And then you'd have Ohio State and Oregon at 8 o'clock. Do you understand how nice that would be to kick off the season? A top 4 matchup between 2 of the biggest brands in all of sports. You could warm up your day with smaller games and get ready for the big game. Maybe this is too much to ask for. I just think it would make Week 0 a little bit more interesting, and honestly could bring more viewers to the smaller games as well. as I know tons of people who won't be watching college football this weekend since they don't care or recognize it as the start of college football. Now, we call those fake fans, but I'm not here to bash on anyone. I understand you don't want to watch your local community college go up against a tech school, but to me, it's beautiful. I hope all of you will be joining me this weekend and watching the unofficial start to the college football season, what we call Week 0. What I'm hoping for this week is an upset from Georgia Tech. I think it's possible, so I'm very excited to see if they can pull it off in Leprechaun Town. And also to hear the sweet voice of Reese Davis and Coach Lee on my TV screen this Saturday morning. It's a blessing to my ears. And to know college football is finally back after a long off season is so amazing. And we are so blessed to live in a country where we can enjoy the greatest sport mankind has ever created, setting up a bunch of teenage college students in front of thousands for our enjoyment during arguably the best weather season in the calendar year. It's truly a masterpiece. I will also be posting videos related to each week of this wonderful season. Maybe we'll do a few predictions or just going over some of the games. So if you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to let me know by liking and subscribing. It's very important for this channel's growth. I'm trying to build a community on here. I'm planning to do big things in the near future with this platform. Also, if you'd like to see more college football content, follow my Twitter. You can also DM me there. Anyways, enough talk. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.